Comedian Stavros Halkias has it out for one of the biggest names in sports media. FS1's Colin Cowherd hosted The Herd. When speaking of Lamar Jackson, Cowherd predicted this.
Lamar Jackson's a project. He's not Sam Darnold. He's not Josh Rosen. You watched them last night. He's not even close. He's not even close. That was way more bad than good. He's not close to RG3 at this point. He's not. Forget Flacco. RG3's not as good as Flacco. Lamar's not even close to RG3, and it won't matter. It never mattered with Tebow. Lamar Jackson, with the best offensive coach arguably in college football, as a 3-year starter, completed less than 60% of his throws last year. That's as a 3-year starter with Bobby Petrino. In 5 of his games last year as a 3-year starter with Bobby Petrino, an NFL coach coaching in college. Lamar Ball is what we may be calling him by November.
Stavros is heard laughing in the background and will give his take as he sat in for an interview on the Dan Le Batard Show.
Of course Lamar's not close. I've never thought he was close. That's why I keep calling him a project. I never call him a prospect. Sam Darnold's a prospect.
Damn. Respect. Well. That was actually, that's awesome to be that coded without ever using the word thug. Respect to him for figuring that out. I've never heard project like really highlighted that way to be racist. Salute the Cowherd. For that's actually a really nice. That put him on the dog whistle Mount Rushmore for that one. I've never heard project instead of project.
It's a hard J.
Shout out to Amin Al-Hassan, by the way. Then Stavros, who is from Baltimore, gives reasons as to why you should root for the Ravens.
You know how much shareholder value we will destroy if we beat the Chiefs? Do you know how much money the NFL will lose? How much money Taylor Swift will lose? If you don't like capitalism, if you don't like America's imperialist policies, okay, there's nothing more all-American than a country pop star and a white boy from Ohio that wanted to be black his whole life, forming a union and becoming, you know, a superstar couple that gets to be at the Super Bowl. There's nothing more all-American than that. And if you don't like the way this country's going right now, you should be rooting for Baltimore to score a symbolic victory as a forgotten inner city that industry abandoned. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sold.
Not only that, because, you know, I obviously would love to, like I said, destroy value for the NFL. That would be awesome. It's also like this. Nobody wants another dynasty. We don't want you want another Patriots. You want Kermit the Frog, Tom Brady to win 5 Super Bowls? No, it's got to be the Ravens. And we've played spoiler in the past. That's the nice thing about the Ravens. We've done this to them in the past. We did this to the last dynasty. We would always come in and up for when the Patriots thought they had it. We would always win a couple, you know, as underdogs. We beat them in Foxborough a couple times. And I think this is kind of our destiny. I will be taking a 5 a.m. Southwest flight to be there to see the show, to see the game. So if you've ever, you know, it's not all glitz and glamour, folks. That's what I'm saying. That's the most famous Baltimore fan. I am taking a Southwest flight to be there. That's the difference. Taylor Swift is ruining the ozone to go pick up the cookies she likes from a different city she's in. And I'm out here flying coach, baby. That America, you know who to support. It's not even close.
Southwest is a cattle call. It ain't even coach, man. It's just like, everybody just run on there. Grab a seat. First seat you see.
Every flight to Baltimore is on Southwest, by the way.
Pretty much. There's no good. Yeah, that's our first class, actually. It was either that or go stowage on Spirit. Those are the only direct flights.
What do you like on game day? How unreasonable are you? And how will you be on Sunday? You'll be crazy. Will you have trouble sleeping the night before?
I won't be able to sleep because I'll have the game and that flight hanging over my head. The last thing I need is missing a flight, and I'm just watching it from the airport bar in Dallas.
All right, before we get started, please do check out Stavros' podcast, Stabby's World, where all podcasts can be found. That's on me, by the way, not his podcast because I can't speak. And his Netflix special, Fat Rascal. Let's show everyone how strong of a support system we have here on 2IT Sports. Also, if we miss something, or if there's a story you would like to submit to me, get at me. I'll throw up the graphic on Twitter, Instagram, and what's the other one? TikTok. Long day. I have a child. So get at me there. And if you think that we should shine a light on a certain story, we'll give you credit for sending it to us. Okay. The reasons that he brings up for the Baltimore Ravens are fantastic. One thing that I do disagree with, though, is the dynasty thing. Because throughout time, this could be individual sports or team sports. When there is a dynasty, I do believe the statistics would show that more people are going to be watching. Now, personally, if we're going off individual sports and individual teams, I do believe the lone wolf for being a benefactor to the anti-dynasty crowd, because people love to root against them, the Stephen A memes will be everywhere, is the NFL's Dallas Cowboys. If the Cowboys advance and go far, the ratings would be through the roof. If the Yankees go far in the postseason, be through the roof. Same with the Sox and the Cubs. In the NBA, what we had was the closest thing to a rivalry that feels like that term is going to be retired if it isn't already in the grave. From the Warriors and Cavs, the run that they had where they faced each other, and you sort of knew, it was practically predetermined that it was going to be Steph against LeBron. That led to some of the best series that we have ever seen. Ever. So Stavros saying, come on, do we really want a dynasty? Like, no, we don't actually want a dynasty. But from an objective, neutral lens, the more fans will flock. And NFL ratings are already ridiculously high. The last graphic we showed about a week or two ago was out of 100 shows or live events, per se, in the year 2022, the NFL had over 90 of them. It just shows. It just shows. Which also, by the way, to the PBDs of the world who are saying, oh, the reason the NBA can't beat the NFL is because of LeBron. That's just fugazi, schmucky talk. The NFL has the market cornered. And at this point in time, unless something drastic happens, they're going to keep growing. But to the dynasty thing, people tuned in to root against the Patriots and Tom Brady. In boxing, people tuned in to root heavily against Floyd Mayweather. Stars actually do help the product. And I believe this also goes into the Final Four. I'm not saying it's right. I love seeing parity, especially in sports. But are more people going to tune in? And I love the mid-majors. But are more people going to tune in for a Florida Atlantic or a North Carolina? Are they going to tune in for a UMBC or a Indiana? Bias, of course. You choose.